Alright, hello. We are here with some live, unfiltered special Patreon footage for you for the Cathode-Ray tube amusement device. Now, this game is so old that it's not possible to play. You'll see in the video that there was only ever one handmade prototype of it ever made. So access to it is kind of, well, it's just not happening, right? But we do have the next best thing, and that is a browser-based simulator. Now I'm here on Retrogame Deconstruction Zone, which is a blog that I follow and I've used for the channel before. This blog and the guy behind it has got some really good stuff on here, and I'd recommend you follow him. He's done a few different simulators for a couple of earlier games, like I've used his one for 1954 pool game and for Tennis for Two. He's got a couple of great simulators for that. So I highly recommend you check him out if you want to test out these games for yourself. There's a place to do it, and that's pretty exciting. We're getting to play a game from 1947 here. I think that's pretty exciting. Anyway, I'll do a quick little cut to get OBS set up so that we have the little simulator here set up nice and big on the screen so we can see what's happening. So I'll be right back. Okay, there we are. I also happen to be a slight perfectionist, so I can't deal with having little white borders on top and bottom, but it looks pretty good there how it is. So we're going to give the game a go and see what it's like. So the idea is basically, I'll spoil this. I have played this game before, but it's a bit of a complicated one. So see, you've got these little stickers on what would be the cathode ray tube display, and you can move these around, put the targets wherever you want them to be. And the whole idea is to basically get this little electron beam to essentially explode over the top of the stickers. So it's kind of like an artillery game sort of thing going on, and you've got these knobs. These all affect the various different characteristics. So as you can see with blast time, not really sure what this is doing because it's not really helping much. A little bit too far away, I think. Yeah, the sticker's a little bit too far away. It can't actually reach. So that's kind of the idea, is you're trying to get the little explosion effect to go over the stickers. And you're meant to do it within a set period of time as well. You've only got so long to blow up the targets. So we got that one. Then we got that one. Not really sure what the brightness does. That's just meant to dull the brightness of the electron beam. I think that's how it's meant to work anyways. Anyway, let's shuffle these about a little, shall we? Yeah, let's go with that. Count that one. Yeah, I kind of got them all in that one. That's kind of neat. You may think that it sort of has a little bit of a similarity to an artillery game. This very article actually mentions that comparison as well. I thought of it myself independently, but it's interesting that there's more than a few people who see the similarities between this and what would eventually become the artillery genre of games. You got to admit, for 1947, it's quite complex. especially when you consider that the next video games that show up are tic-tac-toe or like really simple things or text-based. You've got like basic card games, basic board games, simple number guessing games like Guess. So this, by way of comparison, even this by way of comparison to the early arcade games of the 1970s, like Pong and Space Race, like this is well beyond those in terms of complexity, which I find really interesting for 1947 to have a go at a game of this kind of complexity as what could be argued as quote unquote the first video game. Yeah, I think that concludes our time. This little first look, first impression, sneak peek of what's coming up later in the week. This has been a pretty big project that I've been working on for many weeks, and I'm treating it as kind of a soft reboot for the channel as well because I want to take it in a more historical kind of documentary type of angle. Think gaming historian or like what Stuart Brown does in Ahoy, but smaller scale, doing individual games, sort of creating a giant canvas or collage of video game history, if you like, and connecting all the dots, filling in all the little colors, coloring in the dots, all those little things. So hopefully you enjoyed this. And of course, if you're watching this, I want to thank you for supporting me through Patreon and supporting the channel financially. It makes a huge difference in knowing that I'm getting paid to do this. It really allows me to invest a lot more time into this. It allows me to really dive into video game history and doing this writing and editing and stuff that I absolutely love, and I would love one day eventually to make this my full-time job because it's just the most exciting and most thrilling thing. So yes, thank you. Thank you for supporting, and I hope you will continue to support in the future. Take care. Goodbye.